Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at something absolutely incredible. As cities modernize at lightning speed, it's pretty rare to find places that hold on to their roots so fiercely. But that's exactly what we're exploring today with the Beit al-Kanyar collection. It is, quite literally, a treasure trove of Emirati historical and cultural artifacts. Okay, let's dive into this and uncover the stories behind these pieces and see exactly how they're being meticulously preserved for our modern world. Now, right off the bat, if you look at the text here, you'll see Beit al-Kanyar is called Dubai's Living Heritage Hub since 2018. It's not just some standard souvenir shop. That year, 2018, is actually super significant because right in the middle of Dubai's massive futuristic expansion, places like this made a dedicated, highly focused movement to actively safeguard traditional craftsmanship. They are literally curating the past, making sure it has a solid place in the future. And to really wrap our heads around their impact, we've got to talk about where they are. This isn't just some online catalog you're scrolling through on your phone. No, Beit al-Kanyar is a physical, real-world museum and shop rooted right in the historic heart of Dubai, the Al Fahidi historical neighborhood. Just picture it. Winding, narrow alleyways, those stunning traditional wind towers. That physical grounding is exactly what gives these artifacts their deeply authentic context. So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, a living heritage hub. Second, daggers of distinctive craftsmanship. Number 3, traditional swords and canes. Fourth, the original Emirati coffee pot. And finally, number 5, wooden chests of memory. All right, Section 1, a living heritage hub, collection and scope. Let's get into it. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer massive scale of what they've assembled. When we think of traditional artisanal crafts, we usually picture, maybe a handful of isolated items behind museum glass. But here, they curate an astonishing 69 unique canes, 53 distinct traditional daggers, and 9 specialized art pieces. That kind of volume tells a really powerful story. It means there's a thriving, active ecosystem of artisans out there who are still practicing and perfecting these crafts today. Moving right along to Section 2, daggers, distinctive craftsmanship. Now, this collection prides itself heavily on incredibly strict artisanal standards. In fact, I want to read this quote directly from their archives. It says, "These daggers are handcrafted and created with distinctive craftsmanship and precision." In a world completely dominated by automated factory lines, that statement is a bold line in the sand. It's a total guarantee that every single curve of the blade, every tiny intricate detail on the hilt comes from human hands using generations of passed-down techniques. Absolutely nothing here is mass-produced. To give you a sense of what that precision actually looks like, just check out the variety they offer. We've got the highly traditional Al-Duffer dagger. Then there's a surprisingly sleek black edition, the BE01. Over here is a truly stunning gold-plated traditional dagger, and of course the classic Emirati traditional model, the PD-05. This lineup is fantastic because it shows us that traditional craftsmanship isn't just, frozen in time. You get these different aesthetic expressions, from striking black finishes to opulent gold, all while completely honoring the original historical form. Next up, Section 3, swords and canes, symbols of prestige. So Beit al-Kanyar goes well beyond just daggers. They actually proudly curate the traditional sword of the United Arab Emirates. Anchoring a collection with the national sword? That is profound. It's a great reminder that these objects were central to the foundation of the nation itself. The sword isn't just an old tool. It's this enduring, highly recognizable symbol of leadership, defense, and the deep national history of the UAE. And alongside those swords, we have the canes. Remember those 69 canes we saw on the chart earlier? Well, and this brilliantly illustrates how they differentiate them. It all comes down to incredibly high-quality materials. These artisans are using rich, dark rosewood, elegant ashwood that's beautifully inlaid with silver detailing, and classic cherry wood. The specific choice of wood, paired with the absolute precision of that silver work, it completely elevates a simple walking aid into a genuine, functional piece of art. All right, so we've looked at objects of defense, authority, and public status. But that brings us to a really fascinating pivot point for our explainer. I want you to consider this question. Beyond distinctive craftsmanship and weaponry and status symbols, how does Kanyar preserve daily traditions? Let's transition our narrative away from that public sphere and step inside, into the warmth of domestic life and hospitality. Which brings us to Section 4, the original Emirati coffee pot. The Della. The absolute centerpiece of a welcoming Emirati home is the Della, specifically the iconic coffee pot known as Al Ghuraisha. So the crucial point is that Beit al-Kanyar ensures this isn't just some generic modern knockoff. It is meticulously created according to the exact historical standards of the original Emirati coffee pot. By enforcing those strict standards, they guarantee that the deeply ingrained social ritual of gathering around and pouring coffee feels, looks, and operates exactly as it did for previous generations. It's literally like pouring a cup of history. And our final stop, Section 5, wooden chests, chests of memory. Let's look closely at the definition of the mandus. A mandus is a traditional wooden chest, but the key phrase to focus on here is that it's specifically utilized to preserve precious memories. These are definitely not just basic utilitarian storage boxes you'd slide under a bed. No, in Emirati culture, the mandus is like a family vault. It is a literal handcrafted vessel, custom designed to protect precious heirlooms, important documents, and the tangible memories of a family across generations. Which leaves us with this final, somewhat provocative thought to ponder. As Dubai rapidly modernizes, building ever higher into the future, how do these handcrafted objects from Beit al-Kanyar keep the true spirit of Emirati heritage alive right inside our own homes? Connecting with physical, meticulously crafted items, whether it's feeling the weight of a traditional dagger, tracing the wood of a cane, or holding the memories stored safely inside a mandos, well, that might just be the most powerful way to ensure that living heritage never fades. I really hope this explainer sparked your curiosity, gave you a deeper appreciation for this incredible culture, and leaves you eager to go explore that museum in the Al Fahidi historical neighborhood for yourself. Thanks for joining me.